Welcome back to the grid for race 2. On the third row here, Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson equalled their qualifying, so they're still on the third row. A tremendous ride in the first race saw Craig Chapler and Pat Farrance improve by 5 places. Their best British Championship finish, 5th. That puts them on the third row. 4th again, Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson, ever reliable, but they're there on the second row. They want to do something about that. Relegated to the second row, the tyres went off, and then, would you believe, it punctured. So they ran for 2 laps, Ben and Tom Birchall, with a flat tyre. A terrific second place for Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, but Tim Reeves, pole position, starts the race from the front row. Won race 1, looking utterly invincible. Let's go racing. There's a bit of blue sky, but very strong wind. Fortunately, the side winds, crosswinds, not affecting sidecar outfits too much. They're low slung, they're very slick, so a crosswind is not too much of a problem for them here at Donington. 10 laps then. Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence starting on the front row. Roger Lovelock, the only man to contest all of the races. He's got the whole shot here. Roger Lovelock's got his nose in front. I was about to say all of the races since this championship was conceived in its current format, but he hasn't got the whole shot. He's second. Tim Reeves got it, but a good second place start from the front row. Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence, Ben and Tom Birchall. Up the inside then, the leg of Tom Birchall being waved at Rick Lawrence as he dives on the inside. A cracking start by the number 14 outfit of Gary Smith, showing us what he's capable of. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson, where are they? 4th place. They're in 4th. There they are. Then it's Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson. Then it's Craig Chaplow, Pat Farrance. Then it's Ben Holland, Lee Watson, the number 60 yellow and black outfit. But this, the top 3 then. Top 3 as they finish race 1, but in a somewhat different order. In that, second place man is now in 3rd. Ben and Tom Birchall know full well that they've got to get stuck into Tim Reeves early on in this race, because it'll be over before they or Tim Reeves knows anything about it. They're all close, they're bunching up first time round at the Melbourne Loop. Can they get past him? Ben and Tom Birchall then, from just up the road. They're right on him, they're right on, oh, wiggly, wiggly. It went all squirrely there, he just went in a bit too hot, had to grab a load of brake. Tom Birchall didn't quite know whether he'd be able to get out on the chair or keep the brake anchored. Let's have a look then, off the line. You can see Roger Lovelock to the left. We're on board with Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson. Through come the Birchalls, siding through, taking a look at the inside line at Redgate. But that door is firmly slammed in their face by the Green Meanie. This trio renewing their acquaintance then from race 1. Roger Lovelock knows he can run with them. He's not letting them get away this time. You heard it from his own lips that they weren't getting away. He was running at race pace with the leaders, and he's doing it again here. Just watch the way they slide the back end. So deceiving. Television pictures belie just how quickly these things are going into the corner. The G-force is incredible. It's threatening to throw the passenger off into the grass. It's no wonder they get forearm pump up, because they do. Into the S's. This is the battle then further back. We're riding on with Bygrave and Lawson between the 2 boys, the boy band as I call them. Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson, Ben Holland, Lee Watson right behind them, having a better run this time. We're on board with Ben Holland now, closing on the back of his arch rival. Just a handful of points separate them in the championship. And the rivalry in those 2 crews, phenomenal. Scott Laurie, James Neve, they're running this time. At least they're out there. They retired from race 1. Craig Chapler and Patrick Farrance just really, they flattered to deceive earlier in the year, but now they're really on the case. They had a good run at Cadwell Park. They're going even better here. These boys, though, daggers drawn at the front. It's going to be interesting to see if any of the lessons learned in race 1 can be applied in race 2 by Ben and Tom Birchall. But to get past Tim Reeves, you've got to be firm, you've got to be quick. And you don't have to give him any chance to think about it. Do it by surprise. Problem is, I suspect that Ben Birchall might have played all his cards. And Reevesy knows where he's going to go, but he's on the outside. Can he cut across? Oh, yes! He stopped him in his tracks, got the brakes on. There was nowhere for Tim Reeves to go. Ben Birchall and Tom Birchall lead this race 2 here at Donington. Tim Reeves, though, knows Donington like the back of his hand. But they're getting away, they're stretching that gap, Ben and Tom Birchall. I expected Reevesy to be all over him like a rash immediately after that overtaking move, but they're getting away. Can they hold it all together? This is a bit of an Achilles heel at Goddard's here for Ben and Tom Birchall. They've been coming in there looking a little bit ragged, but not so now. This is the runner-up position of the World Championship, leading this race. Only 4 points remaining for him to consolidate that. The world title already won, but if Ben and Tom Birchall can finish runners-up in 2011, that gives them a fantastic springboard to go into the 2012 season. Ben Bygrave, Callum Lawson, number 74, Ben Holland, Lee Watson, number 60, resuming their battle on track here. Now that looks to be a phenomenal distance, but it isn't. You can close that down very quickly on the brakes. And you can see how the outfits are soaring there. Here we go. Ben Holland not having the best of days by his standards, but as we come out of Coppice onto the fastest part of the circuit, top gear, something approaching 170 miles an hour just there before we go down the gearbox into the foggy S's. It's quick, it's very, very quick, and they're closing. Race leader, second place, Tim Reeves, Greg Clues. Third place, Roger Lovelock, Rick Lawrence, number 49 on the green outfit. Yamaha leads. Honda in second, Suzuki in third. There is some rumour that possibly BMW will feature in the 2012 championship. How good will that be? That'll be harking back to the days of World Championship sidecar racing from the 50s and 60s, if we get the German mark represented out here. All 4 Japanese brands are certainly represented. Scott Lorry and James Neave now making a bid on Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Not going to be easy though, because Ben Holland's a hard rider. He's got to wade through. This is at Schwantz. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. At McLean's, he's got it. Pushing them wide. Yes, he's got it. Scott Lorry and James Neave go through then, passing the number 60 outfit. And there it is, confirmed, but he's come back on the inside. So a real battle royal between these two. And Lorry again. Can he cut back again? Nip and tuck, there's nothing in it. Except we know that the number 72 outfit is unbelievably quick. Well, you might not know, but I certainly know, because I was watching it through the speed trap. It is one of the fastest outfits out there. Mind you, Ben Holland's number 60 outfit, no slug either. Down at the hairpin then, this has to be taken carefully. And as Andy Peach and Ben Bygrave, 4th and 5th, go way up the hill, Scott Lorry, Ben Holland having their own scrap as they approach Goddard's. Scott Lorry, though, has now eased away. I'm not quite sure. He's had clutch problems, I know, in the first race. He fitted a new clutch and left it too tight, so there was slippage there. Not sure what's the problem here. I suppose that resulted in a back row grid position, so he's fought all the way from the back of the grid. So I'm maybe being a little bit unjust to Scott Lorry. We're so used to seeing him run fast at the front. But of course, you come from the tail end of the grid in this company, it's going to be an uphill struggle for 10 laps all the way. Down the hill, Phil Bell leading Craig Chaplow, John Clark. I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned the passengers' names, it's so quick, but I will, I promise you. These three having a massive scrap now. Craig Chaplow inspired by his first race 5th place finish, but Phil Bell, such a wily campaigner, albeit with a new passenger. Phil Hyde's holding down the third wheel for him. Patrick Farrance in with Chaplow. Stuart Graham in with John Clark, trying to make amends for their retirement in the first race. Not the best outing for them. Normally they run very strongly at the front end, at the sharp end, shall we say. Can Craig Chaplow ease past Phil Bell? One would have thought so, given that, oh no, that's a disappointment. All the hard work then in race 1 for Roger Lovelock and Rick Lawrence comes to no good. That massive points tally of 20. So, you could say poetic justice as far as Scott Lorry's concerned. He still might not forsake his second place in the championship, but it's going to be tight. So that promotes Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson to third. So no longer is it 4 on the bike, 4th in the race. It's 4 on the bike, 3rd in the race. And now 4th then for Ben Bygrave and Callum Lawson, number 74. And when it comes to the young crews, this pairing are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. A good finish in their very first World Championship race at Oschersleben, so they can feel comfortable with a strong top 6 finish, and they're putting that to good use here at Donington Park. We'll be seeing a lot more of these young guys in that very distinctive a la Tim Reeves livery. They share an awning, and they also share the benefit of his advice. Out of the running, Barry James and James Winnie. Not a good day then for the Santander Salt number 3 outfit, owned and supplied in fact by Roger Body, who's normally in the hot seat. Commentating with me, Stephen Kershaw, number 29, and Rob Wilson. Their day is a double retirement for them, so that's a long way to come from Scotland down here to get it wrong. Mechanical problems plagued all weekend. A fuel blockage it was in the first race. As to the reason for the second retirement, I don't know. I'll try and find out for you at the end. Charlie Richardson over the right-hand side of the bike. This now the battle for third. I think Bygrave and Lawson can smell a podium here. They're closing. These outfits know each other well. They've been hard at it all season throughout the championship. This round 6 of 8 as Birchall's streak on their way to what looks like a victory here. Hopefully no more tyre gremlins for them. They seem to have got it well and truly ironed out, and it's very fitting that Reeves and Birchall's would lift a win apiece. The battle for third then. Scott Lorry now very much in the frame. Are we going to see the Scotsman claw back some much needed points here? Putting his passenger through the rough part of the track as he bounced over the rumble strip. This is third place. Andy Peach, very experienced. He's not easily going to give that up, I can tell you. A bit of smoke from the rear wheel as he got the power on. Sun well and truly out here. The wind has dropped. It's now become a perfect day and perfect race conditions. Oh yes, Scott Lorry 72 is closing. We're on board now with Scott Lorry. Not long left in this race. So he's really got to get the hammer down, wind that twist grip back, and chuck it into the bends. Keep it as smooth as he can. You can see a little bit of threatening pitting there as the back stepped out. He corrected it, straightened out the way down Craner curves, hitting the apex of the sidecar wheel. Now, is he going to go back 2? Yes, down 2 gears here. Oh, a spin! A spin! Oh, yes! Smoke! So that's Bygrave and Lawson. The smoke came off the tyre. They came out of there too hot. They spun. Did they do him a favour or what? So Scott, lucky to keep it upright, but keep it upright they did. Scott Lorry then through. They've dropped into the clutches of John Clark and Phil Bell. It's a 9-wheeler. It's a 9-wheeler here. And Craig Chaplow is right there in the picture, waiting to pick up the pieces if all this ends in tears. There's a bit of something flapping, you can see on the right-hand side there. Oh, another one in the gravel. Brighton Beach it is for Holland and Watson. They've spun it too, and they keep it upright. Oh, both the boys out of the running. Although Bygrave and Lawson are back in the running, but they've put themselves under a fair amount of pressure now from John Clark, Phil Bell, and Craig Chaplow. 2.5 miles to do. Are they going to be able to defend this place? Is Chaplow going to be able to come from the back of that pack and slip past Phil Bell? John Clark going well, he's up there, he's still going, he's doing something to make amends for his first race retirement. Oh, the wheel in the air from Bygrave. They've got tyre problems, they've definitely got rear tyre problems. The back end let go then, alongside goes John Clark. They're going in to the bottom bend as they come up the hill then towards McLean's. John Clark climbing all over the back of them. Is there a way through here? He's got to look at the inside. And now up to Coppice. This is where he could do it, if he can get close enough. But also he's running a defensive race because Phil Bell's nibbling away too. That bike of Ben Bygraves is quick, very quick. He's gapped him. Phil Bell's alongside John Clark. They're neck and neck. We're watching from the back of Ben Bygrave as we also now cut to the front of the race at Goddard's. The checkered flag awaits then. So the Mitchells of Mansfield sponsored Yamaha sweeps over the line. The Paget's Honda of Tim Reeves, Greg Clues in second place. And who's going to be third? Who's going to be third? Andy Peach claiming it, Scott Lorry there. Terrific stuff for Scott Lorry. He recovered very, very well. And this battle now, they all come in neck and neck and neck, side by side. John Clark, Phil Bell spins, the chair almost up in the air. John Clark out as well. Wow, it's all happening on this last lap. They did Craig Chaplow a favour, Ben Bygrave as well. So another terrific result for Chaplow and Farrance. Race winners then, the Birchall boys. I'm breathless. I'm absolutely breathless. That was one Dickens of a 10-lapper. There it is. Birchall, Reeves, Clues, Peach, Lorry, Bygrave and Lawson. Chaplow a fine 6th to equal his 5th in the first race, or to go with it, shall I say. Clark and Graham got 7th. Gary Smith 8th. He's getting better and better and better. But look at the retirements. Lambert, Holland, Kershaw, James, Lovelock, Parkinson and Ian Guy. 13 finishers. Mick Bleakley gets 3 Eastern Airways points. Good for him. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson. I tell you what, Andy, it's getting tougher, isn't it?
Really hard. I mean, that was a problematic race. It didn't look it, but I'd put a new back tyre on that hadn't been scrubbed. Thought it'd be good. 3 laps, that was it. So it was quite impressive, probably for a speedway style, but that was about it.
Charlie, we've talked before about the tyres and how you have to work extra hard in the chair. I mean, you can feel it moving around. Do you know when the tyre's going dodgy?
Yeah, you can feel it vibrating and sort of bouncing about when you're trying to power out of corners, and then you just sit there wheel spinning, not going anywhere.
Terrific battle. I mean, that battle for third place, and you had them breathing down your neck. It was all going on, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and my pit bulb was +0. In the last 3 laps it was +0.0, so I thought they're really close now.
Tim Reeves, Greg Clues, fantastic race in the sunshine. Made you work for it, but in the end he pegged you back.
Yeah, it's good, wasn't it? You know, there's nothing between us, the pair of us. Like, what can you say? You can flick a coin. It only takes one little mistake to lose a bit of time. And yesterday I got the better of him, but today I got the better of me. But what can you say? I really enjoyed it, and this is what I wanted, though. This is what means more to me. Steve Nobby was a real good friend of mine, and unfortunately I was there when the day he got killed, and this is what I wanted. I wanted it last year, but we had a bit of a breakdown. But yeah, this means a real lot to win this. I'm over the moon that I've got this in my hands. That's really nice, Tim. I mean, that's emotional, and that's really nice. It's good to hear that. Greg, 2 crews at the top of their game. Absolutely fantastic racing.
Yeah, it's a good weekend for us. We have a good point for the championship, but at the moment I think lots at Steve Norbury and all the family. It's really, really nice, man. Thank you very much, and thanks for all my team.
Ben and Tom Birchall, 10 laps. You had to get cracking early, and you did. I could see you were really pushing, but what a great race.
Yeah, superb. A bit disappointed from yesterday, but you know that certainly made up for it today. I knew I'd got a bit of work to do starting from row 2, and yeah, we got through as quick as we could and stamped a foot a bit really. Yeah, enjoyed it. You know, a massive thank you to Mitchells and Mansfield and also Napit there with us this weekend, and everybody else that helps us, Maurice Hoyles and Sean Egerty. Superb. It's nice to repay him with a win, especially at Donington, our local track.
Fantastic. Tom, he was pushing so hard. You did get a bit squirrely on more than one occasion, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, you know, with the lap time we got, I think we got the lap record in that race, you know, which was fantastic as well. But he just pushed hard as soon as he could, and you know, we made a gap, and then you know the tyres did show a bit of degradation, but he just came in and brought it home. You know, it was a great ride, and credit to Tim and Greg, they were riding great as well. They didn't give it us by any means. So yeah, real good weekend.
Well, a massive lead, but Scott Lorry hanging on to second place by 7 points, would you believe? It's getting closer. Birchells will not contest Silverstone. Lovelock and Lawrence then have the opportunity to march on. Peach, Bell, Bygrave. There are double points up for grabs at the final round in Mondello Park, so still a lot of opportunity for all these guys to climb up the ladder. Gary Smith did himself a power of good today, and Mark Edwards with Shelley Smith, his lady passenger there, has got half a dozen points. What a terrific second race here from Donington Park. It's honours evens, a win apiece for Tim Reeves and the Birchall boys. I think Reeves is romping away with the championship, but nonetheless, the penultimate round comes from Silverstone, 23rd, 24th, 25th of September. Don't, whatever you do, miss it. It's going to be great. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.